Welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. It's the girl and welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, click that subscription button right down below and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new video. As you guys could tell by today's title, I'm doing the Vlogmas. This is my first time doing it, and I'm doing it in my own little way because your girl cannot record videos every day, but I'm gonna do it in my own way. So today I'm gonna be discussing with you the pros and cons of living in Grenada. Now these are all based on my personal experiences, and I know that everyone experience is different, but I'm just gonna speak on my own, and then I'm also gonna share certain things, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why I chose what I chose, or why I said what I said as well. So we're gonna get started in this video, and before I start this video, I just want to say that the Grenada is a beautiful country. I love it. I love everything about it, but of course, as a foreigner, certain things are going to be different, and I want to share that with you guys as well. So if you guys are planning on visiting Grenada, you guys could use this video as a reference, or you guys could also do your own research to see what's happening and come and visit first before living here. But anyways, let's get straight into the video. So we're going to start off with the cons first. Let's get all the negative stuff out of our ways, and then we're going to end off on a positive note. Like everything, no matter how negative a situation is, let's end off with a positive note. Alright, so let's get started. Number one, it is expensive to live in Grenada. Things that would be for $2 somewhere else is about $4, $5, especially when it comes down to a person that's living in a country like, for example, Jamaica. Things that I could get for about $2 US there, I'm getting it for like $4 or $5 US here. So to me, it's very expensive. Also, when it comes down to like living here, it's expensive as well, especially if you're making like a minimum wage. I think the minimum wage is about $700, I think, or six or $700. And when it comes down to like even renting your home houses and stuff like that, it's like $1,000 a month if you want a good decent place, or $800 a month. So it's really hard to live here when it comes down to like expenses. Even at supermarkets, it's a little bit hard to live. The supermarkets are expensive, in my opinion. Things that I could get cheaper elsewhere, I'm getting I find that it's very expensive here. So it is expensive to live in Grenada, but it's worth it as well at the same time. Number two, I feel like I'm in a box. Now let me explain. It's not that I'm saying that there's literally nothing to do here in Grenada, but coming from a fast-paced country, or a faster-paced country, to Grenada is very laid back. So I feel like it's just one routine over and over here in Grenada. So you know that the island is very small. So going places is, for example, if you're going on road trips or so forth, it's just one place over and over you're going to, because there's not a lot of things here to do, but you do have a lot of things to do at the same time. So you could find a lot of things to do, but it's not like a lot of things to do. So when you're going on like island tours and stuff, it's the same thing over and over. So for me, coming from somewhere where I could go today, I could go this place, tomorrow I could go that place, the next day I could go this place. We could do that in one day here in Grenada. So for me, I feel like I'm in a box, and there's not much to do here as a foreigner coming from a country that is faster than Grenada. Number three, the buses, or transportation in general. Buses usually they stop running, like you will get the last bus about 8 o'clock, the latest you could get a bus, especially in certain areas. You have like Grenada roads and so forth that would stay a little longer, like you could get a bus at any time. But when it comes down to like where I live, especially Marion, the earliest or the latest I can get a bus is 8 o'clock, and that is by chance. Like I remember the other day I went out and I left Grenada at 7 o'clock thinking that I was going to get a bus when I reached in town, and there was no buses, and the terminal was looking really empty as well. So I was mostly seeing like St. Paul's buses, and 1 and 2 Grenada buses, and 1 St. David's bus and stuff like that. I was hardly seeing buses on the terminal, especially for my stand. There were no buses, so we had to take another bus, and the charge, of course, more to drop us to where we have to go. They do have taxi services here, but when you have like when you do take those taxes, they can be very expensive. I'm not too sure like the price range because I've never taken one, so I can't tell you, okay, it's $50 to go from St. George's to St. Paul's or whatever, but I've heard that it's very, very expensive to take a taxi. So if you're planning to come to Grenada, make sure that you consider a transportation, your ways of means of transport, because without that, then you won't be able to like go out, especially if you're like a late nighter like me that loves nightlife. It's hard for you to enjoy the nightlife because at the end of the day, you have to be worrying about buses and you have to be worrying about how you're going to get home. So you have to make sure that you have transportation. If you want to go out and eat, probably go to the restaurants, the clubs, wherever you want to go, you have to have transportation. So consider coming to Grenada, but making arrangement for your transportation. Number 4, I feel that there's not a lot of opportunities here, especially when it comes down to jobs. It's so hard to get a job here in Grenada, and especially as a foreigner, for me, it was so hard for me to get a job here. And when I did apply for a job, and I told them like, okay, listen, I'm from Belize, you know, I want to work here and so on. So they were telling me that I needed a working permit. When I went to the immigration and told them that I needed a working permit, the immigration was telling me that I cannot get it unless the company helps me to get it. So when I went back to the company and I was like, well, the immigration said that you guys will have to help me to get it, they were like, they're not willing to do that. So it was hard for me to get jobs here in Grenada. That is why I've only had one job, and that's the whole different story. But yeah, so it's hard for me to get jobs here in Grenada, and I'm sure that you do have people that it's easy to get a job, but it's just that you have to find someone that is willing to help you or to pay that fee or to assist you, even if it has to be like taking it out of your monthly allowance just to pay them back the 1,000. I think it's 1,500 or 1,000 a year. Then, you know, if you find someone like that, then that's going to be good. Number 5, the healthcare system. Luckily, I have not been sick and I have never been admitted to any hospital at all. And I'm happy and I'm thankful for that, because I've heard that the healthcare system here is not good at all. I know people that had terrible health care experiences here in Grenada, and they will share the testimonies with me, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I mean, I'm grateful that I don't have to go there, because a lot of people saying that they don't have the resources. They don't have resources like other places, which I think they need to work on, because it's very the island is very small, and you know, people can get sick, and then what happened next? I know someone right now who is sick and has to travel to get the proper care that he needs, because the healthcare system here cannot provide what he needs here in Grenada. And also, I remembered, even when it comes down to like calling them, they never answer their phones. I was there one time when the phone was ringing and they're literally sitting right there, and no one answered the phone. So it's something that needs to be worked on. So like, if you're coming here in Grenada and you're planning on living here, make sure that you know that certain things you're not going to be able to get here in Grenada, and you might need to fly out to get that tend to. So just bear that in mind. Number 6. So this is a pro and a con at the same time, because I've met some friendly people, but I've also met some that were really, really not friendly. And I would use the term selfish or stuck up. But for me, you can find friendly but not so friendly people here in Grenada. I have a few friends here, so I'm not going to say that everyone here is the same. And of course, like, different communities have different experiences. Where I live is mostly like a community that is, everyone is mostly to themselves, so you hardly see people in the community here to make friends. It's mostly like everyone is in their homes and from work to home and so forth. I know most in the country areas, then you will have time to like say hi, hello to someone else and stuff, to your neighbors and stuff, so maybe relationships can be built easier in that area. But when it comes down to like residential areas and stuff like that, it's a little hard to make friends. The people are friendly, yes, but you also have times where like it's hard. Even a simple good morning, it's hard to get out of some of them. So bear in mind that not everyone is going to be friendly with you, but then you do have friendly people here in Grenada. Number 7, it is really expensive to export things here in Grenada. I remembered when I first started my business and I wanted a lip gloss base, and it was like a small tube, and it cost me more than what I paid for it, plus it will be like I'm paying for double the price. So it cost me more than what I paid for it. So it's like I paid twice. I'm sorry guys if the rain is bothering you guys. The rain is falling right now. But I paid twice the amount for that product. So it's very expensive to import things on the island. So this is why it brings me to my other point. It's hard to start a business here in Grenada, because one, I feel like here in Grenada where they're used to they don't like to come out of their comfort zone to an extent. So if they're used to this one thing and you're bringing this new thing, they're going to stick to what they know before trying this new thing. So business-wise, I don't think it's a good place for business, especially um, as a small business. Probably if you have your business and you know what you're about, then probably it would be easier for you. But you hardly find black-owned businesses here in Grenada, which is sad because, I mean, you know, the drift. But it's a little hard for business. Not saying that you cannot come here and try your thing, but for me, my experience is very hard when it comes down to business. If you do start your business, to continue, you have to make sure you like push hard, like extra hard, to get yourself out there. So that's my cons. As I said, these are just my experiences. And as I said before, everyone has like a different look to it, but this is just life for me in Grenada, and when I say that, I want to stretch on the fact that when I say that Grenada makes me feel like I'm in a box, it's like moving from New York. You know that New York is a fast-paced country, and moving from New York coming to Grenada, it's like you used to go like this, you're going like this here in Grenada, but at the end of the day, it's a con for me, it might be a pro for you. So, who knows? So now that we've taken the negative things out of the way, let's focus on the positive stuff. Number one, Grenada has extremely beautiful beaches. One thing I love about Grenada is that no matter where you go, you could find a little beach anywhere. And not only beach, but beautiful white sand, crystal clear waters. So I love that about the place. When it comes down to like nature, it's really, really good. As you guys can see in the background, like I'm surrounded by nature, and I love that. If you're someone like me that loves nature, this is a perfect place for you. Number two, it's safe to an extent. Of course, in every country they're going to have good and bad, right? But Grenada so far has been the safest country that I've traveled and lived in, and it makes me feel so comfortable. When I was in Jamaica, I would have to worry about my phone. I cannot hold my phone. I cannot wear my gold ring. I cannot do certain things. And in Grenada, I could walk freely with my phone. I don't have to be worrying about, oh, someone is going to take it away from me, or my ring, someone is going to steal it, or anything like that. It's safe. I know people who literally sleep with their doors open at night, so it is that safe. But of course, there are things that happen in Grenada that are not being said, which is not as serious as, okay, Jamaica or even my country believes that you have to be careful, extra careful. But of course, never let your guard down. But it's a safe and beautiful place. Number three, it is safe for retirement. It is very laid back. So if you're like that type of person that just wants to come to a place and just relax and enjoy the beauty, it is the perfect place for you, because you don't have to do much, right? If you want to go and take a walk, you could take a walk in the evenings. If you want to go to the beach, you could go and have a swim. You have just a nice and laid back place for it. It's very, very good for retirement. It's quiet. Communities are very, very quiet, especially like in these areas like Marion, even certain parts of St. Paul's and so forth. They're really quiet. So if you're the type of person that just likes to have a peace of mind, Grenada is a perfect place for you. You are going to enjoy. Number four, Grenada has two islands connected to it. So it has Petit Martinique and Carriacou. They are very, very beautiful. I've never been to Petit Martinique before, but I really, really want to visit. So probably in the future I will visit there. But so far I've visited Carriacou, and it is beautiful, guys. So let's say you're on the main island and you want a little break, you could always take the ferry right down to Carriacou, and then when you're in Carriacou you want another trip, you could go right down to Petit Martinique, and we're very close to St. Vincent's as well. So that's another pro. Number five, it has beautiful places. As I mentioned before, it's very, very beautiful. So you have beaches that you could go to, you have falls that you could go through, you have rivers that you could go to, you have sightseeing. Like if you're a person like me that likes to, go places, you could go sightseeing and find different places, because Grenada has a lot of hidden gems as well. So you could always try to discover new things here in Grenada. You will always find new things, even though people might not know about it, or it's not that out there. People do know about it, so you could find someone that might know, oh, there's a river down the road, you know, and you could go and explore that river and so forth. So it's have beautiful places, something that I know for sure if you come to Grenada and you plan on living here, you are going to enjoy. Number 6, and this is my favorite one. It's a great place to raise your children. Coming from a country like Jamaica and Belize, it is so much easier to raise your child in the right way here in Grenada than in those countries. Not saying that people don't raise their children good in that country, because I'm here. But I'm just saying that if you want it to, like, it makes work easier, you know. So transportation, first of all, you have to reach them off certain time if you need transportation. You don't see a lot of people outside of their homes. You don't see a lot of people, you know, doing all kind of stuff. So it's a good place to raise a child. Okay, listen, time to study a book, whatever, you know, because there's not much to do, and people are mostly, as I said, in their homes. So you have time to raise your child the right way. Versus in a country that is faster, even Jamaica, Belize, where you have, you know, all the children going outside and play, the neighbors coming to each other's yards, and, you know, it's like, it might be more distraction because you have buses running late and so forth. Here you don't have much distractions. So that is what I think I'm trying to say. Less distractions. Number 7, the surroundings are beautiful. Grenadians keep their place beautiful at all times. You could always find the yard well cut. You could always find like some flowers in the yards. The streets, of course, they're beautiful. You hardly see dirt, and if you do see dirt, it's just like a 1 and 2 time you might see it, but it's for the most part, it's always beautiful. So you're breathing some fresh air at all times. Last but not least, number 9, it is great. It has great tourism attractions. The only thing I would say is that they might need a little fixing up, but away from that, there are beautiful places here that tourists can enjoy, and beautiful places that, you know, can be explored, as I said earlier. So overall, Grenada is beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. It is worth coming here. I enjoyed my time here. Grenada is awesome. I enjoy every bit of it. It's just that certain things I wish was different, especially when it comes down to like transportations and stuff. I wish that we could have gotten transportation a little later than now, just so that we could have enjoyed ourselves, because I'm a person that loves to go out and eat. Like, I would like to get ready for 7 to leave for 9 or 8, you know, and by that time, if I leave, first of all, I wouldn't even get a bus to leave my house, much less. So that's the certain things like that I wish that could have changed. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, this was my personal experience and my personal opinions. I hope that no one was offended by it, because I meant no harm. I was just speaking. And thank you guys for watching once again. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, click that subscription button right down below and turn on that notification bell so that you could be notified anytime I upload a new video. Always remember to stay true to yourself, because there's no one in this world that is better than you. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. To tell a friend that Angel said to subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow, guys.